Outrage expressed in London at reports of an horrific massacre thousands of miles away amongst the tribespeople of the Chittagong Hills in Bangladesh. According to the international organization Survival, in April a village in this remote region became a killing field.
Hundreds of men, women and children were locked in their homes and burnt alive. This attack was led by local security forces and was aided by the military and the Bengali people of the area.
Home to some 12 tribes, mostly Buddhist, the Chittagong Hill Tracts are closed to outsiders. Only the amateur cameraman can give a rare glimpse and share the horror of the people mourning their kin, following what Survival calls the worst human rights atrocity in recent times. Yet another attempt to crush a culture alien to Muslim Bangladesh. This was the village of Logang. Eyewitnesses say on the 10th, Bengali youths tried to rape hill women herding their cows. The women fought them off, injuring a youth who later died. It was rumored that rebels had killed him. Revenge was awesome. The attack lasted at least 3 hours. It's claimed that 1,200 died, mostly women, children and old people. This 15-year-old boy, in hiding to save his life, bears witness to the full horror of the event.
A crippled woman called Bodhi was told to go into the house by one of the settlers. Then he set it on fire, and she was killed. He told me, "Put your head down," and I put it down. Then I saw the shadow of the knife, and I jerked back and ran off.
General Mahmoud al-Hassan commands the military forces that effectively govern the Chittagong Hill Tracts. This interview with him had to be smuggled out of the country. In it, the general was completely dismissive of claims that more than 1,000 people had died at Logang.
13 dead, 19 wounded and 2 missing.
There has been a government cover-up of the whole massacre, and it's a long history of conflict for the past 20 years, and the government has attempted to cover it up.
But many witnesses, like this boy, won't let their stories be covered up.
The dead bodies were stacked one on top of another in the clubhouse. I myself counted at least 150.
Chandra recalled how he found the body of his brother and took the corpse to the clubhouse where the rest of the dead had been put. Ever since Bangladesh claimed independence from Pakistan 21 years ago, the Buddhist tribespeople have sought autonomy. But failure of political initiatives has led to a sporadic guerrilla campaign. In response, the government turned the area into a militarized zone and settled 400,000 Muslim Bengalis into the fertile tribal homelands. When a democratic government was elected last year, it was hoped that a solution to the problem would be found. However, Kalpa Ranjan Chakma, Member of Parliament for the Logang area, has visited the scene of the tragedy. A visit that's shattered this optimism.
When I visited Logang, that time, these army people started constructing houses, new houses there in the area, in the burning area, burnt area, so that in future nobody could see that, could say that there was some massacre some days back, and there was so much killings in this.
But the evidence couldn't be hidden. Since the fateful day, hundreds have fled across the border into refugee camps in neighboring India. There they've joined 56,000 of their fellow tribespeople who've also sought sanctuary over the past few years. There too, filming is illegal, but this amateur footage shows that there's no hiding the mental and physical scars that these people bear.
I had to have an operation to remove the bullet from my side.
Bengali Muslims came and started killing people, setting fire to the houses.
3 of us gathered 46 bodies.
However, in spite of these people's stories, General Hassan remains obdurate in his defense of the situation.
Not a single family crossed the border, because, though the border is only 2.5 miles.
So they would be able to cross.
So that means that should show that they have some confidence in us.
Yeah.
This confidence is not shared by Amirul Islam, a Bengali lawyer who represents tribal people at the Supreme Court in the capital, Dhaka.
From the cases that I notice, that civilian authority is not allowed to function under the law and the constitution as it ought to be able to function. And that impediment, that element of impediment, I think has to be removed.
If we want to solve this problem, right now we have to create some positive environment here in this state, especially the first thing we have to demilitarize the whole area. Because all the people who are living here in Chittagong Hills, they are more or less suppressed by these military people.
I feel that there is a tremendous possibility for bringing about a solution to these problems, and they are within our sight, provided the government has a determined political will to solve it.
But witnesses to the years of suffering and depression of the tribespeople say that a government that doesn't admit the problems exist is hardly likely to solve them. Meanwhile, the pleas come for the world to hear.
This policy of genocide being carried out by the Bangladeshi government must stop now.